At 5:17 a.m., a heavy fog still clung to the pine ridges around Bryansk's defense hub when the sky erupted. Without warning, 40 FPV kamikaze drones and 16 armed UAVs swarmed in from the north. Almost simultaneously, RBS-15 Mk3 cruise missiles launched from Orkan-class corvettes off the Baltic coast, tearing through the treetops at nearly 690 km/h. From the east, remotely controlled bomb robots crawled along the rail lines, planting explosives on radar trucks and supply convoys. Overhead, Polish gunships strafed the perimeter with machine gun fire, clearing a path for special forces teams advancing through the mist. This was no raid or harassment strike. It was a full-scale, multi-layered assault aimed at the heart of Russia's Western air defense network. The calm of early morning shattered. What followed would become a case study in modern warfare. As smoke still curled from the burning radar trucks, Poland launched a second wave. Electronic warfare drones swept overhead, jamming Russian radar and scrambling missile guidance systems across a 12-mile radius. Moments later, HIMARS batteries hidden in woodland clearings fired precision rockets that smashed into outer S-400 sites with pinpoint accuracy. From the flanks, Leopard 2A5 tanks rolled forward under cover, deploying sniper teams and special forces squads on foot. Their priority targets were the Pantsir S-1 air defense units, which were still scrambling to reposition. One by one, Russian air defense crews were neutralized before they could fire back. Overhead, kamikaze drones locked onto Nebo-M radar vehicles and slammed into them with explosive payloads. Meanwhile, robotic sappers crept through the forest floor, slicing fiber optic lines and burying charges near backup power nodes. Polish W-3PL Głuszek gunships roared in low, firing unguided rockets into Russian staging areas and raking fleeing convoys with heavy machine gun fire. The assault was layered, synchronized, and relentless. Every blast, every drone, every tank advance was part of a larger plan to peel back Bryansk's defenses like an onion. As the Russian perimeter collapsed, it became clear Poland wasn't just testing Bryansk's defenses, it was dismantling them. But Russia was far from finished. Roughly 220 miles northwest of the front, a Russian Kilo-class submarine broke the surface and fired a salvo of Caliber cruise missiles. Within minutes, explosions rocked a Polish artillery staging area near the Belarusian border, knocking out 2 launchers. Then Russia escalated further. An Il-22PP electronic warfare aircraft crossed into contested airspace, blanketing the region in jamming signals. Behind it, Su-35 fighters streaked in low and fast, releasing anti-radiation missiles aimed at Poland's mobile radars and drone relays. The skies over Bryansk became a cat-and-mouse game of radar pings and electronic noise. One of Poland's rear command posts took a direct hit from the Caliber strike, severing uplink to forward units for 3 minutes. But Polish forces adapted quickly, activating Rosomak-mounted mobile command centers to reroute control nodes and restore fire. Coordination on the fly. New threats emerged from the east. Russian Lancet loitering munitions buzzed low over the treetops, hunting for exposed Polish positions. Palika air defense crews scrambled from dugouts, locking onto the incoming drones with electro-optical sights and firing manpads in rapid succession. Streams of tracer fire lit up the morning haze, knocking several Lancets out of the sky before they could strike. Despite Russia's counterpunch, Poland's layered structure held. Mobility redundancy and mesh-networked drones kept the strike package operational. Then came the next phase. From the southern forest edge, just 4 miles from Bryansk's inner perimeter, a mechanized column emerged. Polish upgraded T-72M1 tanks, reinforced with ERA blocks and thermal optics, led the charge. Behind them, infantry fighting vehicles and troop carriers advanced in tight formation, their turrets sweeping for threats. Thick smoke screens laid by UAVs and crab howitzers masked the push. Meanwhile, RBS-15 Mk3 missiles launched during Phase 1 were retasked mid-flight by drone relays, diving into Pantsir launchers and radar hubs deeper inside the base. The resulting explosion set off secondary blasts as fuel trucks and ammunition depots erupted into fireballs. FPV drones dove through treetops, smashing into radar masts and mobile EW vans. Low-profile bomb robots crawled into trench lines and ventilation shafts before self-detonating. Crab howitzers 6 miles south lobbed 150mm shells in coordinated arcs, guided by forward observers in fast-moving Rosomaks. Within minutes, Bryansk's outer trenches were in chaos. The Polish assault came from three directions: drones from the west, missile strikes from the north, armor breakthroughs from the south, collapsing Russian defenses inward. Surveillance feeds showed conscripts abandoning positions and fleeing through tunnels as flames engulfed the perimeter. Polish W-3PL helicopters circled high, strafing pockets of resistance and relaying targeting data to ground batteries. The entire operation moved like a single machine. Armor, artillery, drones, and robots working in unison. Bryansk's core was now exposed. By 7:21 a.m., Polish commandos reached the entrance to the central command bunker. The blast doors had been disabled by missile strikes. Inside, a handful of Russian officers surrendered without resistance while others lay wounded. Polish medics treated the injured on the spot, following strict humanitarian protocols. Outside, a burned-out Nebo M radar truck now flew the Polish flag, signaling overhead drones that the sector was secure. Cyber specialists began extracting data from hardened servers and radar consoles, aiming to capture Russian air defense frequencies and command protocols. The battle tone shifted. Engineers cleared paths for casualty evacuation while surveillance drones patrolled overhead to prevent ambushes. But Moscow wasn't done. At 6:12 a.m., launch pads near Smolensk fired a fresh wave of Lancet drones and Iskander-M, ballistic missiles traveling at Mach 6, aimed at Polish artillery and command nodes. Palika systems mounted on 4-4 platforms detected the swarm and lit up the sky with quad cannons and infrared-guided missiles, downing most drones before impact. At longer ranges, Hibner itself propelled guns on Star. 266 trucks engaged incoming submunitions with radar-guided 23mm fire. One Polish battery was hit, but the network held. Poland struck back immediately. W-3PL gunships launched from forest clearings in a crescent formation, skimming treetops at low altitude to hunt Russian forward observers and drone operators. Within 18 minutes, several Russian staging areas were ablaze, disrupting real-time target adjustment for Iskander strikes. At 6:44 a.m., Bryansk's last active radar dome went dark. Russia's defensive eyes in the west were gone. The final Russian counterattack had been loud but ineffective. Poland had not only absorbed the blow but turned the momentum. Bryansk was now fully in Polish hands. With the shooting over, Polish units switched from assault to stabilization. Instead of destroying everything, they carefully secured radar gear, encrypted terminals, and surviving vehicles for forensic analysis. Every piece of captured hardware could reveal more about Russia's air defense doctrine. Russian prisoners, many stunned conscripts, were treated by Polish medics under drone overwatch. Humanitarian protocols were enforced to the letter. Overhead, long-endurance surveillance drones scanned the perimeter for signs of a delayed counterattack. None came. Bryansk was subdued both physically and electronically. This wasn't just a military victory, it was a demonstration of technology-driven warfare. Poland had shown that precision and restraint could coexist, even in a high-tech battlefield dominated by drones, missiles, and cyber warfare. As the sun rose over the smoldering battlefield, one message was clear. Bryansk wasn't just taken. It was decrypted, piece by piece, byte by byte, and now belonged to Warsaw.